This week we are going to work on the rest of the engine.
Just in the street forever.
Okay, welcome back to my vlog. We are working on the Shadow, and last week we did... What did we do last week? What did I do last week? It's been a whole week, I can't remember. I remember now. Last week we cleaned that. Last week we worked on this side of the engine because it was already open. We cleaned out everything and put the clutch basket back to the way it should be. This week we are going to work on the engine and hopefully it's not seized. On this side of the engine I just need to go back over there for tools. Just to check the timing. Alright, we'll just open this so that I can manually crank over the engine. I spoke to the owner and he said that it was a timing issue originally with the bike, which is why the mechanic parked it and then just didn't get around to it, and then he bought it as a project bike. Oh, it's turning very stiff, but still it is turning. Okay, I'm going to stop there. The engine has been sat for a really long while. Also, there aren't any spark plugs in the engine. Let me check the other side. So yeah, I checked the other side as well. There aren't spark plugs in either side of the engine. It's been sat for years, so that means all the humidity, all the dry weathering, it's just been sat, and it's obviously been sat with no oil in it because that side is open. So I'm thinking that maybe it's just slightly seized because it is turning, but it's just really stiff. See, I can't do it with one hand. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spray some WD-40 just inside where the spark plug would go on both sides, just because it's been sat without oil. It's dried up a bit inside. Let it soak in, and then that'll hopefully lubricate the piston inside the barrel, and then hopefully it'll free it up a bit inside on both sides. Then we can move on to timing it, and if it is a timing problem, it should be a pretty simple fix. I'll have to time both of them together, but that shouldn't be too difficult because I'm going to read the manual. So since I've got some spare time now, yeah, I'm going to take Ruffian for a ride. I'm going to leave this soak overnight. I'll be back again tomorrow morning to finish it off, and hopefully that engine will then turn over. I'm going to head back now, but before I do, I thought I'd show you a bit of the sunset. I want to get back before it sets. That's not a bad view. That's alright. So it's the next day. I've left this engine soaking overnight with the WD-40 in the spark plug holes on both sides. I'm going to try and turn it over now and see, hopefully the engine's not seized and it should move a bit smoother with everything freed up. Oh, it's moving. Let's try and... Oh, there we go. That is a very free engine. That's turning over nicely. Okay, so that is great. Now that we know the engine isn't completely seized and it's not seized because of something broken, it's just seized because it's been sat open, I can now time it. Sure, at what point my phone died, but it did. I've also taken off this, I don't actually know what it's called, but the carb attaches to it here, and then it mixes between the two cylinders on the engine. Oops. And I did find inside this assortment of rubbish. So we had a sweet wrapper and also an old playing card. So I'm hoping, I've looked through and I've not seen anything else, but I think maybe mice had a bit of a go because the carburetor wasn't attached at all. It's just been swinging here, so maybe they just got in and decided to make a little bit of a house in there, which is not great. But there isn't, I've shone a flashlight through it and there isn't anything else. These to the rest of the parts that I've taken off. All the small parts I put in here to keep them all in order, and then the bigger parts I hang on the wall. Oh, why? Who even uses hex bolts? The worst part is the exact size that I need broke the other day, which is really upsetting. It's these damn stupid hex thingies rather than just regular bolts. Do not round off. There's physically one in there as well. How did they put this? Am I taking off the wrong bits? Do I need to take off this? I just thought because it's at the top, this should come off first. Does it not have to come off first? Have I done this wrong? Should I have looked at it? Probably. Oh, okay, there we go. Oh, you trapped. They're just the covers for the holes. I could have just taken off them. Ah! Why was I faffing with that this whole time? Wow, I'm stupid. I don't feel very intelligent all of a sudden. Let's try that again. I just assumed because they're at the top, they should have got taken off first. Just dust it on. To time it, we need to also open this little bit here so that we can see the marks, the timing marks for the engine. Move that out of the way and just set up the camera. Okay, that's FT. A little bit more. Okay, RT. Okay, so we have reached the RT. I just need to line it so it's in line with this one because obviously right now the F is in line. Okay, right, there we go. So the engine in the right position, it's on that RT mark. We need to now time this side. We're timing the marks on the camshaft with this chain, with this, what do you call these? With the valves, with the rocker arms on the valves so that everything moves at the right exact times. Whilst I'm here, might as well check the camshaft to make sure that it's okay. It should be super easy. I've not done this before, but there aren't that many bullet points in the manual. It's just making sure everything lines up and all the little marks are the same. So yeah, it shouldn't be that hard. So this camshaft is actually in the wrong position. It was pointing up this way without the firing mark on the top. It needs to be go this way. Yep, with the R and the TDC mark upwards. So I just need to put that back to rights and then yeah, I can close everything up. All done. That wasn't as hard as it thought it was going to be. This cam is actually in pretty good condition. There's practically no wear on it. Let me see if I can show it you. There's practically no wear in it. It's in really, really good condition. There's no pitting on it or anything. All the holes look really good. So whilst the engine is open and tuned, I just thought it'd be kind of interesting to show you guys the engine moving inside. So the rocker arms are now pushing down on the valve springs, which will force the valves open. So start letting up now. There we go. And then it will release them. So that is done. It wasn't as hard as I thought it was going to be. It's pretty easy. The manual actually makes it pretty simple. So that was okay, and having done it this is the first time doing it, it was actually, you know what, it was actually alright. Now I can just put the covers back on. I'm going to need some gasket seal. It says something about Honda specialist seal, which I don't have. I just have generic gasket seal. So yeah, then that is the engine timed. That should fix the problem that we think the engine should have, but we can't test it until you, my friend, have got bolts, because we can't put oil in it yet. Engine isn't seized, which is great. I definitely need to now go and find bolts because there's not anything else that I can do. I googled the bolts, I found some on eBay. There's no eBay in Gambia, so that means I'll have to ship it twice because I have to ship it home and then ship it here, which could take a few weeks, and I can't bother waiting that long. At the end of the day, bolts are bolts. All I'm going to do is label each hole from the top all the way around, measure from the outside to the inside of the hole where it would fit. Get that distance and find bolts that'll fit all the way in. I know a guy who's stripping down a VFR engine, Honda VFR engine, and the case on the outside looks kind of similar, so I'm hoping those will fit. Maybe. Bolts is bolts. So yeah, I'm gonna go and check that out now. So I guess that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you next week. Hopefully I'll have bolts, we can put oil in it, we can then put power to it and get the starter to turn engine over and measure compression, and we'll go from there. Thanks again for watching. See you guys next week. Bye.